Or yes. Hey, good evening, everybody. We're just working out some not really issue. Well, we all, if you're into voiceover, you automatically have issues, I think.
Yeah.
But that's why we're all here. So keep your mics muted during the class, and we're going to have a good one here. We're just going to give everybody a minute to kind of get in here. Do me a favor because it's just so much fun when we do this in the chat. Please write where you're watching and listening from. We like to track our participants. No, not really. we, we like to track you with our AI bots. No, it's kind of fun because we do have people from all over the world that will come to an intro class, and it's a lot of fun. My name's Terry Daniel, by the way. I'm a voice actor, audio engineer from Minneapolis. I've been doing this for pretty much since Ronald Reagan was president. Well, maybe the second term. Rob is also here. He's in the upper corner there. He is a tremendous voice
Pain in the
talent
ass.
and also a coach and a tremendous pain in the ass. Yes, he is. But he also has many decades of experience. And we like doing these intro classes because I think everybody in this class can agree on one thing. There's a lot of misinformation online when you're looking to get into, I don't even care if it's photography, acting, music, voice acting, and you can get spun out very easily. And Rob and I are here to give it to you straight. We're not going to, there's so many classes where they start telling you that you can just make barrels and barrels of cash doing voiceovers in like 2 weeks if you follow their rules and pay, 50 grand for their program. Rob, ours isn't 50 grand, is it?
No, no, it's
Okay.
much. It's much. You've reduced it for this week only.
Right. Yes. 50% off 4th of July sale.
Yeah.
No. So, Rob, tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this and how you're hooked like everybody else that gets into voiceover because it's a sickness in a very, very fun way.
I started as a sound guy. I worked as an audio engineer for bands and variety shows at Six Flags in LA, and worked there for almost a decade. And then started any job I worked after that was usually broadcasting or video production or TV production. So within each of those, they always needed somebody to do voiceover stuff. And even with the sound mixing stuff, sometimes you had to get on microphone and say, please stand and move to the center of the theater and all that stuff. And so I got kind of comfortable being on mic. And so every time I worked someplace, they always needed voiceover, and I just did it. And it kind of hit me one day, like, why am I not doing this on my own? So I got the ball rolling and got some coaching and got some training and built skills that I didn't know I needed. And now here I am doing this.
And here you are. And we've got what's interesting, and even though Rob and I are coaches, is we kind of do each other's demos as well because we try to help each other with our own business. And that's what's kind of nice about UVT coaching as a whole is all of us are actual voice actors. I think there's huge benefits in training with people who are actually booking voiceover work. I don't know how many of you have taken a class where even if it was a voiceover class and the last time the guy booked was in like 1984. I mean, you can't really, I'm not saying you can't learn anything, but Rob, if I had to start all over again, let's say if I went back in time to like 1989 when I started this, I would want to work with somebody who was actually doing the craft.
I would love to have had the technology now that we didn't have in 1989. That's my thing. It was so painfully difficult to record audio for a commercial because you had to go to a studio, you had to go to their studio, or you had to find a studio that was near you that would record to tape that you could mail, or if you were lucky enough to find a studio that had I don't even remember what the ISDN line. If you had an ISDN line, you were like king in the business. And it was, and that was the only way that you could communicate with production companies was if you had an ISDN line. And if you didn't, well, too bad. You had to spend 5 grand to buy this little phone coupler thing, and it was dumb. And now the technology is like I have a studio in my laptop. Really, I have a full multi-channel recording studio at my desk, and that's just fantastic. So I wish I had the technology back then when I started.
Awesome. We're going to kind of go back and forth from the Zoom grid to the presentation. I promise this isn't going to be, a big boring 28-page PowerPoint presentation. I think those of you that used to come from corporate, I think we've seen plenty of that. Rob, I don't know if you know who she is, and I was very delighted when I saw her register for the class, but our old friend Linda Bard is here.
Linda,
And she's probably got
I'm
more
looking.
experience than anybody in this class combined, and that's a good thing. Linda, how are you? It's we need to get out there and come and see you because you're just such a gem of a human being.
Thank you, Terry. Yeah, the reason that I came, I mean, I love what you're doing and how you're communicating what's going on because I've been doing it as long, if not longer, than both of you guys. Um, and I the stuff is changing. It's shifting. It's not like it used to be back in the day. And I love what you said, Rob, about the ISDN line. Because my husband, he has a recording studio. He's
Uh,
had it for, you know, 35, 40 years. And we were one of the first up in the Pacific. I live in Portland, so we were some of the first in the Pacific Northwest to have ISDN. And I was trying to get, people in LA to um, hey, we got it. We can do these, and they go, oh no, you have to be here. I want to see you on the other side of the glass. And of course, now you don't even have to be anywhere. I mean, Terry, I saw you recording in your car. So, I mean,
I have. My
it,
car sounds better than any place I've ever recorded. It's
I know.
just crazy. Your car can be a studio. I mean, think about what you're recording in.
Exactly.
It's been amazing, and some of the biggest jobs I've ever booked, I've recorded like while Tracy's driving out west by outside of Jackson, Wyoming. No, actually,
Right.
not while she's driving. That probably wouldn't be
That would be a
very good.
little, yeah.
As she's racing down 19. No, well, thank you, Linda. We'll mute you back up and bring you back later. But Linda has been a dear friend of not only myself and Rob, but also of the community, and she's just one of the good ones because I think we can all admit most voice actors are just really annoying, and I would never do anything with them personally. No, I'm kidding. We love them all. So to get started in voiceover, that's why you're here. It's an intro to voiceover. And really, it comes down to learning the skills. I think everybody gets a little, what I call gear lust, where they get a little excitable about buying that microphone, and everything else. And they forget that they actually have to learn the acting chops. And, there's this microphone, an Apollo Twin X preamp. You can buy all these fancy pieces of hardware, and that's not going to do any good if you can't read a script and make it sound convincing. Especially the authenticity that comes with doing commercial scripts. And you have to be versatile too, especially if you want to get on the good talent agency rosters. You got to be able to do commercial narration and all kinds of different genres. And you've heard me talk about demos in my emails before and how important those are. Demos are your calling card. I mean, they represent you as a talent, your versatility, and not only agents, but clients want to hear your range. They want to make sure that you're not a one note talent because they want somebody who's going to have a lot of booking power so they can make their 10-15% commission. The more versatility on your demo, the more you book and the more money that the agency makes as well. And speaking of script performance, Rob, I
oh
thought maybe
yeah.
we could do a like a script exercise. Are you up for that? We'll take a couple volunteers to read a commercial script for those of
Yeah.
you, and let me grab
Yeah.
I
Throw
think
the script up there on the screen.
it's I have to admit it's a 15-page medical narration. No,
Uh,
it's a very quick commercial. And check the chat for the PDF link for those of you that need the script. Cassie, I think you've got
oh,
that.
there you go. He's got it. Yeah. It's in the
Um,
PDF's in the chat.
yeah, so we'll that's what we're gonna do. And do me a favor, if you want to be a performer for coaching purposes, we're not going to crack the whip too hard in a group class. We might be a little more strict if you're working with us one on one on a coaching session. But this is kind of just for fun and just to get our feet wet and kind of show you what we do as coaches when we go through scripts like this. So grab that. It's in the chat right now. Just click on that PDF and you'll get to the script.
Do you not want to put the script up on like the on the view screen or on the
Yeah, I
view
can.
thing?
Yeah, let me do that. That's a really good idea. My
Yeah, you're like the PowerPoint slides. I'm not seeing the PowerPoint slides. We spent
no,
so
no.
long on these things.
I was having some
Had
technical.
to go through legal and everything. You know, the producers were on my neck the whole time about it. You know.
And I tell people there's not going to be any boring PowerPoint presentations. And the second they log in, there's the first slide. Right. So, all right.
There we
Can
go.
you guys see that? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. See,
Okay,
that's just
awesome.
makes it easier.
So this is just a quick, fun, fake commercial for Crunch Break Candy Bar. So if you are going to volunteer to do a read here, you got to be in the mood to do it for once. So if you're in a bad mood and you had a really crappy day and you're just feeling kind of grouchy and you hate the world right now, this probably isn't going to be the right night for you to volunteer. But if you can shake it off, we might just call on you. So we're gonna do a couple people here. So I'm looking for a real fun, energetic, playful, almost like it's animated. And if you want to take it a step further, maybe you're an animated character in the commercial. So you could actually pretend that Crunch Break Candy Bar is like a cartoon character with arms, legs, a big tall hat, whatever it is. If that kind of helps you get to the level that you need to get to as far as being animated in energy. What I don't want you to do is read it like an e-learning narration, because sometimes we do script homework with our UVT virtual VO lab members, and most of the time people send good stuff, but then somebody will send me some homework and it'll sound like this. Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Rob, would you hire that person?
Yeah, it's kind of boring.
Yeah, a little boring,
I
right?
would have stopped after ever try to. I would have stopped right there and moved on to the next voice.
Yeah, see, I mean that's what it is, and that's what a good demo does too. I mean, if the demo's not A1, the agent or the buyer might move on after hearing the first 5 seconds of the demo. So for those of you that are like trying to do your own demo, yeah, don't do it. Not if you want to have the best chance to succeed. All right, why don't we go to our friend Glenn Moyer? Why don't we have him start off here? And now, Glenn, when I hear your voice, I immediately think of documentary narration because you and I
Yep.
have known each other. You've worked with UVT for many, many years now. And you probably, would you say that narration is a little bit more of a comfort zone wheelhouse kind of thing for you?
No question, no question. I'm a narrator, documentary guy. Doing characters and feeling playful is not always in my wheelhouse.
Well, and that's the beauty of choosing a script like this because it gets you out of your comfort zone and you're trying something that maybe you A don't really think you're great at, but B you're just not really comfortable doing this real kind of like, crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked.
Yes.
You don't have
See,
to do it
I'm
quite
already
like
having
that.
withdrawal symptoms.
You don't have to do it quite like that, Glenn, but just give us some real good high energy, kind of like, you and I are old enough to remember the old Saturday morning cartoons when there used to be 5 channels on the TV. Boy, does that date us. But this would be like a
5.
commercial.
We only had 3.
This would be a commercial that would play in between like Speed Buggy and Jabberjaw. So, yes, I do remember those 2 cartoons. YouTube it. They were great. So why don't you try one, Glenn, and we'll see where it goes.
All right, I have one question before we go. The nope, is it like ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope, or is it nope?
Yep. Nope. I like the way you said nope the first time. Do it that way. Okay.
All right, here we go. Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
Rob?
Glenn, I love you. You're great with this. You just sounded a little breathless. Don't be afraid to catch a breath between sentences.
Okay.
I mean, it's probably going to need to be tighter anyway in the editing. I mean, sometimes the way they do these audio edits, I mean, you're stepping on your own last sentence, a previous sentence. So, don't be afraid to just say a line, catch your breath, say the next line, catch your breath, especially when you're doing something that's really high energy. You need all of that energy, and it can't sound like you're running out of air at the end of a sentence. So,
Okay.
other
Right.
than that, it was great.
Other than that, how was the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Exactly. No, you sounded fine. I want to hear more personality from you.
Okay.
It's just you I'm hearing. I want to hear more. I want to hear more of an animated you.
Aha. Okay. Well, as we said, that's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And when I need energy, I tend to go fast because I often feel like I take pauses. We talked about that in one of the classes doing a documentary. I take pauses where maybe there shouldn't be, which works for documentary, doesn't necessarily work for commercial. So
Yeah,
Yeah, it definitely doesn't work for commercial.
documentary is so visual. There's so much happening with the music,
Right.
and it can be that it's the one genre where the voice actor can sound really choppy and it's effective because there's so much going on in the documentary. But yeah, this is something where it's just like you did a couple lines of coke and you just went off to the races.
You've
All
had a
right.
few candy bars.
Okay,
Yes. Yeah.
bad reference. Like, we'll change that to a monster drink. How about that?
There you go.
There you
Overly
go.
caffeinated.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Glenn, let's do it one more time. Cheerful. Give me a lot of character with this. I mean, I always say, stepping out, working outside of your comfort zone, leaves you open to the possibility of failure, but doing nothing assures it. It may
Sure.
suck, it may be great, but take the step forward and have fun with it anyway. And
Okay.
you're among friends, so no worries.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
I like that.
A lot
I like
better.
the inflection on crunch break. I like that and getting a little grit to the voice. It gives it something, adding personality to your read is an important part of this because I mean that's what they're asking for in this is they want personality, not just a narration. So
Good
I think it
work,
was good
Glenn.
adjustments.
Let's do one more for now, and then we'll
Yeah.
get back to talking some voiceover stuff, and then I'm going to bring in Deborah and Colton.
Uh-oh.
Kim, I don't. Deborah, are you doing the read, or is Colton doing the read?
I'm gonna let Colton do it.
Awesome. So
Hey,
Colton,
Colton.
welcome
Hi.
to the class. Thank you for being here. Try to make it again very animated, exciting. And then it reads fairly quickly too. Like there should be some extra excitement when you actually start talking about what the crunch break is made. We're talking crispy wafers, creamy chocolate. We want to be really hungry when you read this. There's got to be animated deliciousness to that laundry list. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later. Change it up a little bit too toward the end like that if you can, and don't worry about perfection. We know that you're probably new to this, and a lot of people are new to voiceover. We just want to. This is a really good test to see how well people listen and how well they take direction. And even if the read isn't perfect, if you're at least in the ballpark, Rob won't get too angry with you.
Yeah, throw it all on me. It's all my fault.
He's such a jerk of a director. No, I'm kidding. All right, so Colton, whenever you're ready, just relax and let it rip.
Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
Well, I loved it. Great energy.
Good
One
age,
thing
and a good age for it, Rob.
yeah, definitely. No, good, young, youthful energy.
Yes.
Colton, I would say I want you to punch the adjectives: crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox. So punch those: crispy, creamy, and crunch, and that'll kind of change the phrasing of what you're saying and let my brain kind of follow along easier. All right. So let's try it one more time.
All right. Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
Good job. Good job.
Sure, yeah.
Nice job. Well done.
You're getting rave reviews in the chat, Colton, and I know that was your goal when the year started, is to get rave reviews in a Zoom chat. You know, that's really all there is to life, isn't there, Rob?
Absolutely.
Being accepted in
I'm doing
a
it for the
group
Zoom room.
chat. All right.
By the way, I had to look up Speed Buggy because I didn't remember the title. But yeah, I totally remembered watching that show with the talking dune buggy. That was
Yeah, it was a
totally
talking.
cool.
It was indeed a talking dune buggy. You're
Yeah,
absolutely right.
that was so
Good
cool.
job. Thank you.
I
All
can't
right.
believe you remember that, Rob.
Well, I have the internet right next to me here, so
That is
it looks like it was done by the same guys that did like the Groovy Ghoulies and as that kind of that era.
well, I
Sid
think
and
it
Marty
was,
Krofft
I
kind
think
of
it,
stuff.
yeah, I think it was Hanna-Barbera for sure.
Oh, is it Hanna? Oh, it's
Yeah.
Hanna-Barbera. You're right.
So,
Yeah, not Krofft. All right.
all right, let's briefly talk about recording gear. Rob, do you see the slide?
I do.
Okay, because Keynote's been moody tonight, so I just wanted to make
Ah,
sure. So again, you probably, when you get into voiceover, just like what we've been doing, you really want to focus on script performance. I wouldn't buy a whole bunch of gear until you've had maybe some coaching and you can kind of figure out if you can, when you figured out if you can do this or not. Obviously, soon after that, you'll need some gear. So I think Rob will be with me on this one. As far as like affordable recording gear when you're a voice actor, you don't have to go off and spend thousands and thousands of dollars on gear. Check out the
no.
Rode mics. The Rode NT1 mic is probably our favorite go-to beginner mic. It's got a solid, warm condenser. It's really good. And I think the best partner, and when I say partner, I mean interface, because you're going to need something to power the microphone, would be the Focusrite Solo, the Scarlett
Hmm.
Solo, I guess I should
Yeah.
say. Rob, would you agree with that? I think the Rode mics sometimes can fly a little under the radar with even pros, but it's great stuff.
I'm definitely a fan of the Rode mic. The NT1 is a note for note ripoff of the Neumann U87, which in audio geek speak is one of the best microphones that you can get for voiceover. It's an amazing microphone. And the NT1 is, I mean, it's sonically identical. It sounds identical to a U87. But it's a hugely underrated mic, and it's what they call a large diaphragm condenser, which is just fancy words for it's got a big piece of mylar in the middle of it that catches sound better than everything else. But it's a really solid microphone, and pairing it with the Focusrite Solo is amazing. You don't need tons of inputs and all that stuff. Focusrite makes a solid tank of a box for their preamps and interfaces, and that's all you need: a good mic, a preamp, and free audio software that you can use on your computer, and you're off and running. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars on any more stuff. You're going to need more. You need to spend your investment more in coaching. It's not the gear. It's the thing behind the microphone that matters more than the microphone.
It really does. It's the performance, and don't take the room that you're recording in for granted, because you could
Mm.
go and buy like a $900 MK416 like the mic I have, and if you're not recording in the right space, a well-treated space, and there's all this room bounce and floor noise, I mean, it's going to sound like a $100 mic.
That's
So
that's the problem with the really expensive microphones is that they're super sensitive and they'll pick up every flaw in your room. A competent sound engineer will listen to that audio and be able to tell exactly what's wrong with your room. And that's the problem with those really expensive mics. It makes a bad room sound worse and it makes a good room sound great.
absolutely. Um, all right, and then we're gonna come back and do a few more script reads from some of
Yes.
you. By the way, if you have anything voiceover related as far as questions, feel free to type those in the chat. Cassandra will gather those, and then we'll go through them at the very end of the class. So any voiceover related questions, you can type them in the chat, and we'll keep track of everything. So you've heard us talk a little bit about how important a voiceover demo is. Think about an on-screen actor and how important their reel is or their headshots. This is basically a headshot for a voice actor, right? It showcases what you can do in about 60 seconds to about a minute 30. Whether you're doing a commercial demo or, we talked to Glenn about documentary narration, or an e-learning explainer video narration, which explainer video is just, along with audio drama, are two of the hottest genres around right now. And there's a demo for just about every genre. It doesn't mean that you need one for absolutely every genre. I mean, it does help. Lately, I've been going to voice actor websites. Some people have like 15 demos. I'm not saying that you need 15 demos, but there's way more genres in voiceover than there've ever been before. But the point is to have a demo where there's just a lot of variety and versatility. For example, maybe the first clip on your demo is like a warm, authentic coffee commercial. Maybe the second one is a lot like this Crunch Bar, where suddenly you just get way up here and you get kind of animated, and suddenly the agent goes, wow, that guy started with such a low voice. I can't even believe he can get up there in that falsetto. And then maybe the third clip is something kind of dry and sarcastic, and maybe the guy's kind of bored when he's talking about the sale over at Aldrich. Lots of different things. And maybe the next one after that sounds more like a local cable ad, which sometimes it's nice to have a clip like that, Rob, on your demo to represent like automotive or some of the local dealerships.
Absolutely. You want to have your voiceover demo is a demonstration, hence the name, a demonstration of your skills. So you want your best skills, the skills that you are the best at right up front. But that should definitely be a conversational style read, a heartfelt, sincere read, wacky, zany, funny, entertaining read, guy next door kind of a thing. These are all kind of styles that are always being asked for in commercial advertising, especially. And maybe you do a piece where there's a little bit of narration, or one piece where there's a crazy character, a really strong character, to show your range. And your demo is a sample of your range, but you definitely want to have your most important and best voiced stuff up front.
Absolutely, because there's no guarantee that an agent no matter how good your demo is, there's never a guarantee that they're going to listen to the entire demo.
Sometimes you only get seconds, only 4 or 5 seconds.
So, I mean, it's our job as coaches, and especially my job as the demo producer for UVT, to make sure that the best performances are up front. So I usually will take the best clips, and hopefully they're all great by the time we actually get a chance to do the demo. But it's really important that the performances are just razor sharp at the beginning. What I want to do here is just play you kind of a demo sampler of like multiple demos that I've done with UVT. This will be a mixture of commercial, some video game character. Rob's got a dynamite radio imaging promo demo in there at the end. I want you to listen to the versatility of the talents, especially this first one, Rebecca Lee, who has gone on to do just massive things nationally. I believe the first 3 clips will be her on this sampler. Listen to how quickly she changes directions on the demo, and then you'll hear some video game character stuff too. But this is a sampler. Let's go ahead and play it.
The grins and giggles they let out as soon as the lotion touches their skin are magical. Soft skin with so many smiles. Aveeno Baby Lotion. At Trader Joe's, we know quality and price are both equally important, which is why you get the best of both when you shop with us. Trader Joe's. Why settle for biting into a chocolate-covered cherry when we've given you the chance to drink one? Sexual Chocolate Red. Available at Total Wine.
We've lost too many to just give up. We must keep fighting if we want to live in a world free of this evil and hate. Who's with me?
War is horrific. It will change your life in ways you cannot imagine. Being prepared for battle is one thing, boys, but being excited for it is a feeling you should never have. You heed these words and you never forget them.
Immerse your life in the sound you love.
Here we go, let's go.
Next level spatial audio that hits from every direction. Era 300 connects you to your music like never before. Feel the sound all around, now at Sonos.com.
Love that.
Wait, hold up. Extreme Sport Ice? No. Try this. Go ahead, take a whiff. Right? Vanilla and coconut. Native all-natural products for body, hair, and skin leave you feeling clean, fresh, and smelling like real things. It's not a mystery. It's native.
My daddy always said that the trick to taming a wild horse was mutual respect and patience.
Of course, Daddy got kicked in the head a couple times by an impatient, disrespectful horse, so there's that.
Ah, there you are. I've been waiting. You really thought you could stop me? Darling, I wrote the plan you're trying to unravel. Now kneel and watch your little world crumble.
Gotham's always been a battlefield. But criminals like you thrive on fear. Well, not tonight. Tonight, you're outmatched. This is where justice takes over.
It's the little things in life that really matter, I tell you what. The constant belly rubs and ear scratches. And oh boy, the food that Timmy drops me from the kitchen table at dinner time. Oh, what a life.
We love the music.
If it's the greatest hits you hear in the car, it can only be Q105 FM, Atlanta's best music. Listen to The Eagle weekdays for a chance to win $1,000. $1,000.
Enter a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo right here that basically says the same thing. Just listen to The Eagle Monday through Friday between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. for a chance to win $1,000. Void where prohibited. Your mileage may vary. Don't forget to floss, eat your vegetables.
Let's go!
Hits are us.
Number 1.
99.5. The Mix. On your Echo, or in your car, online, or on your phone. Take Mix 92 wherever you go. Download the iHeartRadio app.
What kind of music do you usually have here?
Oh, we got both kinds. We got country and western.
Atlanta's #1 station for both kinds of music. New Country 101.5.
Every song totally rocks.
It's awesome.
It's all about my kind of music.
My kind of music.
Today's hottest hits, Hot 95.
Say my name.
DJ Zero.
Spinning, I don't know, whatever he wants.
KFlipCamp.org.
According to this poll, worst candy for Halloween isn't candy corn. It's actually Peeps.
Well, that's because that's an Easter candy, duh.
Jenny and Tony, mornings. Magic 105.3.
Great stuff.
Great stuff. Rob, do you have a cassette like this? Was your first demo on a cassette like this?
No, mine was a CD. That's all that's as far back as I'm going. And so it was an Edison wax cylinder. That's what I used.
I think my first talent agent listened to my demo on this.
I don't see. Oh yeah, the Walkman.
The old Walkman, yeah. So that was just kind of a very long sampler, but a combo of commercial video game character and radio imaging, and those are what pro demos sound like. We haven't really talked a lot about. Briefly, Rob, tell us what a radio imaging promo is.
Radio imaging is basically the sonic branding of a radio station. A TV station can have a little logo in the corner of their screen telling you what channel you're watching, but a radio station, you don't. And so it's a way for them to announce the radio station that you're listening to get you to call in for winning tickets, or to give you some piece of information that they want, that they don't want to spend advertising time for. So they're quick little, they call them interstitials. Sometimes they're called bumpers, but they're the noisy bits between songs that sometimes they're funny. Mine are ridiculous, and that's just the way I like to write. But the idea is that you catch the listener's attention and then go back into the music, and that's what a good imaging spot does. So that's what radio imaging really is.
Awesome. Well, hey, let's get another volunteer in here to do a script read, and then we've got some other fun stuff to talk about. Why don't we bring in Michael Cruz? Michael, good evening to you, sir.
Hello, Michael.
Is he there? A lot of silent syllables.
Michael Cruz, I'm looking for him. No, I don't see.
It looks like he's unmuted. Michael, I'm going to mute you and we'll come back to you. How about that?
Michael, I see you up there. But yeah, I didn't hear you. Sorry, Michael. Are you there? Can you try now? Nope, nothing.
We'll come back.
Not a damn thing.
Let's go to Dylan Dobson and
sorry,
see what
Michael.
he's got. Dylan, good evening.
Dylan?
Hey there.
There
Sorry,
we
I've
go.
got my dog's barking.
No
No
problem.
problem.
No problem.
Robbie, you're coming in crystal clear. Would you like some direction on the script one more time, or do you think you got it, Dylan?
Is it the same script that we were using before?
Crunch break.
Yep. There it is. We'll do a screenshot of it
Yeah,
here.
if you
It's up
can
on the
just put it there
screen.
in front of me.
Crunch Break candy bar. Just let it rip. And by the way, don't be afraid to get really hyper with this one. There's just really no border on how crazy and energetic you can get. So just don't be afraid to just kind of let it go,
Okay.
All right, anytime.
Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
I liked it. Inbox feel personally attacked. I would change the phrasing of that so it just kind of the joke hits a little harder. But
Okay.
I liked it. Give me more spaz.
Yes, more spaz and silliness.
Yeah, silly. That just sounded like you talking a little quicker. Don't necessarily talk quicker. Let me hear you. Just be fun. Be weird.
It's got to be a little. It's got to be a little wackier. Just even if you sound a little crazy, it's okay. We want you to sound like somebody who's animated and kind of off their rocker a little bit.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Try that.
Yep.
Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
Thought you were going country western there for a second. You ever try to answer one of them emails?
I heard
fangled emails.
I heard a little dialect sneak in there.
That was great. No, that was a lot of fun. Terry, I love your directions. You keep saying fun, funny, energetic, playful, but my first thought was to do it totally deadpan. Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope.
Yeah,
that
could
sort of
work.
thing.
The old Stephen Wright delivery.
Yeah, absolutely, Stephen Wright.
That could definitely work. All right.
But I love the overly caffeinated, hyper sugared,
I love
delivery.
it. Yeah.
That's great.
Really feels like it needs to be hopped up. Let's bring in Stephanie Getz.
Stephanie,
good evening to you, and thank you for being here.
Thank you for offering it. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Are you ready to spaz out on us? So that seems like an outdated term, kind of.
That's a very 80s thing.
Yeah, I can't believe we're saying stuff
I grew
like.
up in the 80s, so it's all
You're
well.
ready to spaz out?
We're saying words like spaz. We're showing pictures of our Walkman.
Oh my God.
It's like, what? All right, let's hear your version.
If I were to go with a voice I've kind of been working on.
Oh,
okay.
I like it.
All right, it might not quite fit, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to spaz out.
I want you to spaz out. I'm giving you 100% creative liberty on this.
Ever try to answer one email and end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. Time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
I love it. I love it.
I love the extreme falsetto. That was a good touch.
I'm trying to find the actress that played either Seinfeld's mom or Crane or one of the characters' moms. She was this cute, tiny little actress. She was a bit actress in like everything in the 40s and 50s and 60s, but I can't remember her name. But she had a very high pitched voice, and I can't remember her name. I was looking it up really quick, but that's who it reminded me of. I loved that kind of character voice. It was silly and fun. And sounded to me kind of like to me it sounded like a little old lady. I don't know why.
You know what it sounded like to me a little bit of Aunt Edna from Vacation. The very
Aunt
first
Edna. Oh yeah.
Aunt Edna from Vacation.
Right. Oh my God, yeah.
You've been exceeding the speed limit for miles.
Oh, her.
Yeah, that Aunt Edna, the one that remember they put her on the roof.
Yeah. Oh, it's Imogene Coca. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should know that. That's Imogene Coca.
Do you want Stephanie to do one more?
Yeah, Stephanie, do one more, and I'm hearing an animated character with this, and so definitely play with the words. Maybe make it young. Give it that you've got a young voice. Make it young and kind of silly that way.
Okay.
Ever try to answer one email and it end up joining 3 meetings? Nope. It's time for a crunch break. Crispy wafers, creamy chocolate, and just enough crunch to make your inbox feel personally attacked. Crunch break. Break first, adult later.
I like it. That was great. Now I'm hearing Emma Webster, which was Granny from Warner Brothers.
Why do you keep making me so old? Stop that.
I don't know. I'm sorry, but it's working.
For God's sake.
No, it's working. It's wonderful. I like the voice. Good personality with it. It was entertaining. And that's, a script like this has to be entertaining. That's what it's all about. And the voice was right there with it. So I think you did great. Good job.
Thank you.
Great. We're going to take some questions. I want to tell you a little bit about our membership program that we started, that we built like a few years ago for people that really wanted to learn voiceover, but were on a budget. So we created this just for them. It was the #1 request, literally like every other month. Do you guys have anything besides your big packages? So I want to tell you about it for a minute. Somebody's got their mic unmuted, so if you could mute back up, Cassie, maybe you could find that. There's just a little bit of background noise, but everybody, if you're on your desktop, laptop, mobile phone, whatever you're on, do me a big favor. Go to uvtcoaching.com and meet me at the virtual VO lab page. It's that third menu item from the left. I want to talk a little bit about the UVT virtual VO lab program. This is our monthly membership program, and it's $30 a month. You don't have to hang on to it forever. We'd love for you to at least try it tonight, because we do 3 to 4 live voiceover classes literally every month. I send out weekly script homework with live feedback. You get an exclusive training video every other week by one of the UVT coaches. So there's a lot of interaction going on. We do improv. John Haynes does an improv class every other month. This program is loaded with everything you need to get started, and it's only $30 a month. I might be biased. I love it because, of course, I'm the one who created it. But here's one of the reasons I like it. A lot of voiceover classes online are like $60 to $85. And they're usually pre-recorded. You get multiple classes. They're all live and interactive. No pre-recorded nonsense for $30 a month if you become a virtual VO Lab member. It's really a great program. And Rob, I honestly, to be quite transparent, I wish something like this would have been around when we got started. Did Rob leave?
I muted myself and didn't unmute. That's my fault, because I'm a professional. I was going to say, this is definitely one of those things that I was saying earlier that I wish I had the technology back then, because it would have saved me so many headaches. It's super convenient to have all the information in one place at your pace. And get it and have it be honest, good information. It's not just somebody blowing sunshine saying, "Oh, you sound great," or "Here's the tricks to make $1 million." It's the honest truth on how to do this stuff, and I just think it's a great program. I really do. I really support it.
Yeah, sign up, you guys. And I think if some of the other current VO Lab members are in there, you could mention something about it, what you've gotten out of it in the chat. But we do have a bonus for you if you actually sign up tonight.
But wait, there's more.
All right. I knew I could count on Rob for that free soundbite.
I had to do that.
If you sign up tonight, we're going to throw in a free one-on-one voiceover coaching session with either Rob or myself or one of the UVT coaches, but you have to sign up tonight. We're also going to throw in a free one-on-one script performance session with one of our coaches. So you're basically getting 2 one-on-one coaching sessions if you sign up for the virtual VO lab tonight. We're also going to send you a UVT script breakdown cheat sheet guide, and I'm also going to send you my 60-minute voiceover marketing course. Those are all the bonuses if you sign up tonight. And of course, if you have questions about this, you can mention them in a chat. And here's the good news about becoming a member of the virtual VO lab. You're not locked into some obnoxious 5-year contract if you sign up. You know, if you're a member for a couple months and you're like, well, this sucks, this isn't really for me, you can cancel at any time. We think you're going to like it. Actually, we don't think you're going to like it. We think you're going to love it because it's super interactive, lots of live classes, and it's a good way to learn, Rob. It's especially if you don't have like $4,000 for a big coaching and demo package. This is a great way to get your feet wet.
Also, you may be running a schedule that is not conducive to working with other people one-on-one. I'm not saying you should do this while you're working, but if you're in a place where you've got access to a computer, you can watch these videos and learn something while you're doing stuff, other things. It's a great way to learn. That's why I said it at your pace, at a time that's convenient for you. Maybe just sitting on the couch after a long day. You learn a few techniques, or you learn some strategies that's going to help you in your career, in your new career. I mean, it's just a great tool, and the fact that it's at your pace, I think it's just super helpful.
Yeah, so hit that join now button and give it a try. Again, you get the bonuses if you sign up tonight. So definitely go for it. So what we want to do now is take a few questions here because we've got some time here. And then I'm going to go to Cassie, our moderator, to see if she can come up with a really good question from our in the chat group there. Cassie, do you have something that we can start with?
Ooh, I've got several for you.
Awesome.
Let's see here. Before anything else, because this is the first one on my list, Nina asked, what's the purpose of submitting a demo on an MP3?
The purpose of sending a demo on an MP3 is because talent agents don't want a WAV file because it fills up their inbox, so that they wake up in the morning and their quota is full, and then they're not getting your email. So they also want to have an MP3 so they can send it to their clients as well. It's just really a kind of a compressed version of your demo that doesn't clog up somebody's inbox, especially like our video game character demos. I can't send those via a WAV file. I have to compress them to an MP3 or use WeTransfer. So it's just a way of the production director or the talent agent to stay organized, and they're not going to want a bunch of WAV files clogging up their email. Rob, I'm sure there's other reasons. I don't know if you can think of any other than that.
No, really. I think it's space saving more than anything else. WAV files are uncompressed audio, and that takes up megabytes of space. I mean, you can't send a WAV file through email, but you can send an MP3, and it's faster to download. It's faster to transfer. It's just a compressed format that works really well, and it just seems like everybody in the industry uses MP3 as a standard. I have a couple clients that want WAV. That's fine, but it's MP3 is fine for 98% of everything on the internet.
Very cool. Next question, Cassie.
Okay, hold on one second. Paste this one question. But then, Kathy asked, what's the average number of months it takes for most students to be ready for a demo and put themselves out there?
It really depends on the talent. It depends on if you came into this with no experience versus having experience, because we work with talents that have had a lot of experience, and they can usually get to the demo part relatively quickly, to be honest with you. But if you're brand new, it's always recommended to do, a flurry of different coaching sessions. It doesn't mean that we can't do the demo. We don't always have to wait until the very end of a program to do your demo. I mean, if you're ready, everybody's ready at different times. One thing we won't do is make you record a demo when you're not ready. That's why we have our big kahuna program on uvtcoaching.com that comes with everything you need to get started. If you're looking for more of one-on-one coaching, multiple demos, marketing help, helping, with your setting up your home studio, that option is there as well. But yeah, we don't, there's too many demo mills out there, to be quite honest with you. I'm not going to name any names, but sometimes people are recording demos before they're ready. I do want to mention something about our demos as well. We write all original content for our students' demos. We
That's a
don't
big thing.
we don't borrow scripts from the Edge Studio library page. We don't just, we don't use Chat GPT. Oh God, nauseating. We write all original content because every talent's going to be different, and we also want you to record stuff that you're interested in. I mean, if you're not a golfer, I mean, I'm probably not going to write a golf commercial for you. And if you're not an audio engineer, I'm probably not going to, write an isotope commercial for you. I mean, Rob, don't you agree? It's also, I mean, it's all about skills for sure, but you just seem more engaged when you're reading content that you're into, like hobbies and interests.
Absolutely. Yeah, you want people that are passionate about what the product is. That's a key thing in business is you want to hire the people that are going to be passionate and really enjoy the product that they're working on, and not just think of it as it's a paycheck. So it's the same thing when it comes to the demos. If you're excited to talk about, if you're a Ford person versus a Chevy person, if you like dogs over cats, if you're Coke versus Pepsi or whatever, we want to have those products that you like because your voice is going to sound naturally, good with that. Versus trying to fake. Oh, well, I don't like Pepsi, but I'm gonna fake it for this. No, we want to do stuff, give you content that you agree with, because it's going to sound better.
Very cool. Let's keep rolling with these, Cassie. This is great.
Okay. Let's see here. Michael asks, what's the best way to network in the industry to get your name/demo out there? Conferences, classes, or something else?
All of them, really. Conferences for sure. Good way to network. Definitely getting into, like, Rob and I have a voiceover group on Facebook called Voiceover Camp. You can look for that one. Those are good ways to kind of network. And honestly, LinkedIn is still a really good social media platform that's really stayed true to its form from what they were at the beginning.
Absolutely.
I still get a handful of brand new voiceover clients every single year from relationships that were started on LinkedIn. So I like it because it hasn't jumped the shark like Facebook and Instagram or X.
You know what?
Rob,
Facebook
used to be on Twitter before it was X, weren't you?
Yeah. I was going to say Facebook has aged out. Facebook is for Gen Xers, and so we're not the generation that uses Facebook, and so
TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram are the ways to go. As that's what the kids tell me these days. But yeah, you gotta. Yeah, it's definitely not Facebook anymore.
Well, I think the groups, though, on Facebook can still be effective, at least if you're looking for community. Like we
absolutely.
And by the way, for our UVT virtual VO Lab members, we actually have a private Facebook group just for our members too, where we have a lot of great conversations in there as well.
I will say, talking about Twitter, I was on Twitter. I've left Twitter. But I went back because I wanted to see what was going on.
Oh no!
As a possible, no, I did a search for casting calls.
Why don't you just say that you want
casting call?
Why don't you just admit that you like being triggered?
No, oh God, no, no. Yeah. Well, maybe I do, but no. But no, there's still plenty of jobs out there. Doing a search for casting call on Twitter or on Blue Sky. You can find stuff on Discord. The way to find work is through, the best way is usually direct marketing, reaching out to the individual clients on a personal basis and saying, hey, I want to be with you guys. How do I get on the team? And going from there. But there's plenty of ways to find work. The trick is to diversify and try them all.
Well, and the beauty of this business is, and people always get really upset if they get turned down by a talent agent, but we are living in an era now where you can actually do well without any talent agency representation. Yes, it's pretty much needed if you want to book some of the big brands like Rob was talking about, Coke and Pepsi. It's really hard to get that by way of direct marketing. Although our friend Natalie Hitzel, Rob,
I don't know how she did it, man.
She got a lot of direct business from video game manufacturers, all because she's the voice of many toys. And
that's the
she
thing.
got none of that from her agent.
She went directly to the toy manufacturers. She went to like a toy manufacturer convention.
Yeah.
And talked to the guys at the booth. And I just think, damn, that was smart. You know, because she's got a great voice. She's a perfect character. She can do great character stuff. And she just eliminated the need for an agent. It was like, oh, you're not finding me the work? I'll find it myself. And that's the way to do it. That's the way.
What do you got next, Cassie?
Okay, one's a little bit more technical. CJ asked, is there a reference on how to tweak the parametric equalizer and maybe the dynamics processing for different genres of voiceover?
Okay, I can do this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Dynamics processing is a setup with within Adobe Audition. At least that's how I use it. I use it in Adobe Audition, and Dynamics is one of the things that I use a lot with my setups. I use a little bit of gating, mostly just so that when I'm looking at the waveforms, that everything that's not a spoken part is completely dead silent. Just because it looks better on a timeline, it's easier to see. So I do a little bit of gating, a tiny bit of EQ, and almost no compression, unless the client asks for it specifically. So I'm adding just a little bit of processing before I send anything out, but that's the bare minimum. I mean, I don't want to do anything more than that.
And you can also use a little bit of dynamic processing on your EQ too. You can put dynamics on a couple bands if you have to. I love Adobe Audition for voice actor. I don't like the tools that much. I really like the Fab filter.
I like
plugins.
I like the parametric EQ mostly because you can pick the plot points on the frequency and say, okay, from this frequency we cut. It's kind of like a graphic EQ. Like if you've ever looked at like a 30-band graphic EQ, you're basically looking at the whole the audio spectrum. But I like that in the parametric to be able to adjust specific frequencies and really pinpoint what you need to do. But again, that's kind of high-tech stuff that most people do.
Welcome to audioengineering.com.
Yeah, voice artists don't need to know any of that stuff. So
yeah, and speaking of that, I'll piggyback on what Rob said. Remember, as a voice actor, 99% of the time, your job is to record the gig, right? Make sure that you've edited out any really bad mouth noise, any obnoxious breaths, clean it up a little bit. But for God's sake, don't spend any time processing the audio, because the client, 99% of the time, they have somebody on their end who is going to produce the spot. I'll give you an example here. There's a company called All Around Patio Decks in Minneapolis. We just recorded like 8 spots last week. I'm producing all the commercials and I'm the voiceover, and we did it at an offsite studio at our buddy at Winterland, Rob.
Cool.
But all the compressors were off, and all we did was record raw audio because I'm going to add that shit from my end over here.
That's the big problem.
You can't produce produced audio. It just doesn't work.
If you process something that's already processed, it's going to sound terrible, and you can't unprocess something. You can't remove somebody's processing if they've added it to the MP3. Watch
the plug-in rabbit hole, and don't go down the plug-in rabbit hole that yours truly went down. I mean, I have a good excuse because I was learning music mixing at the time too, but I blinked and suddenly I had 2,100 plugins.
The thing I've learned with audio, I mean, even from mixing live sound, less is more. It really is. You think you need to drop a frequency or you need to boost the bass? No, you don't. Maybe tiny fractions of a bit, but less is more. The less you do to tart up the audio, the better it's going to sound in the final mix.
And a lot of people love to use that high pass filter. I guess the high pass filter is good for one thing: fixing junk. If there's if there's nothing on that boomy end of the frequency, there's nothing to fix. So you don't use the high pass filter. And what happens when there's nothing to fix is if your setting gets a little wacky, suddenly you sound really like it. It sounds like a voicemail.
Yeah, yeah. No,
like telephone voice.
high pass filters are useful for a lot of voices, and they do eliminate a lot of the sounds that you normally have around a house, like the power lines. Power in your house runs at 60 hertz. If your high pass filters in, it's killing that frequency, but it can also kill tonalities and frequencies within your voice that you may not be aware of. You may have parts of your speech that drops down into those lower frequencies, especially guys.
That's why I always play it safe. And I record
when you're not listening on your Walkman, you're jamming with your
I
your
record
blaster
on the 1983 version of the Panasonic boombox. I just hit play and record, Rob, and I do all my editing on cassette.
I want one of those say anything boxes. You know, remember from the movie where he's holding up the big stereo? I want one of those.
I think he had the Sanyo boombox in that movie.
I'm sure whatever model it is, it's like way in demand and way overpriced. And
I think you know what? I think John Cusack has that in his
good
home. Yeah,
good for him. That's a prop I would keep. Absolutely.
All right. We're running a little late, but Cassie, why don't we take one more question if you guys don't mind going over just a couple of minutes?
I'm not quite sure if this is a question because Rob's actually been really good tonight in answering questions in the chat. So I'm actually trying to find the one.
Sorry.
This is why we run out of material at the end of these classes because Rob answers them all during the presentation.
Well, you're talking all the time. I got to answer. I got to do something when I'm sitting here.
I appreciate you doing that. If there is one more, we do have time for a quick one.
We do.
Okay.
I don't know. Not sure if it's quite a question though. That's why I had to throw the audio technical one on you though. Charles says, I don't have a way to make a demo. I have a podcast. I do videos through a streaming service. This is where I'm stuck to do a demo and how. So I'm guessing maybe y'all can show the way.
Yeah. Why don't you email me, Terry, Terry at UVTcoaching.com. We can help you with a demo. It's not, we definitely discourage trying to do it yourself unless you've got years of experience as not only a voice actor, but an audio engineer. There's too many people out there that send me their demo and, you know, I appreciate the enthusiasm. I appreciate that you want my feedback, but some of them are just so bad. They're distorting. Every read sounds the same. They're not balanced, and you know everything sounds like it's just booming. It's just, Rob, this is probably the biggest mistake that new voice actors make, don't you think? Just to be candid,
I did. It was a mistake I made. I was a sound guy. I know what the hell I'm doing. I can record my own demo, and it was garbage. And
right.
and the 20 agencies that I sent this off to still won't talk to me. So it's that simple. You know, you burn bridges pretty hardcore when you do that.
You've been blacklisted forever. If they're still not talking to you, I think that's on them. That's a little too big of a chip
honestly,
on the shoulder.
I think it was me, and I just was too embarrassed to try and reach out to them again. Hey, remember that idiot 20 years ago? That was me. Hi, you know, that sort of thing. But no, you can record your own demo, but it's going to sound like a homemade demo to anybody that listens to demos. And that's who you're sending your demo to, is these people that do nothing but listen to demos all day. So it needs to be at the level that is all the other stuff and so it has to be produced by people who know what they're doing, and you're just the talent. You just get to be the voice and let the team build everything around you. That's what markets. That's what sells.
You'll love this too, Rob. I was actually, once I was turned down by a talent agent, and then they heard me on a commercial, and then they invited me to join their roster, and I just pretty much told them to off. I bleep my own words. You can't accuse me of dropping the F-bomb. I didn't really say it, but I'm like, you know, do you think that you think I hold a grudge much?
No.
I'm like, so you heard me on a spot, and then you invited me to the agency.
I think it was Clancy Brown, the voice of Mr. Crab and a bunch of other things. He did a thing where he had done a promo for some network and had to come in and do another promo, and they said, well, we want it to sound like this, and it was actually his promo that he was trying to sound like. And so he did it. I'm like, that's me. This is who I did. And he did the audition and didn't get the job.
Oh my God.
I think it's Clancy Brown. He tells this story, and it's amazing to me.
Oh man, that's crazy. But it's 5 after 7, and I just
Okay.
wanted to thank each and every one of you for taking time out of your Wednesday evening to be with us. Thank you, Cassie Gold, for being a terrific moderator as usual. Thanks to my partner Rob Marley, who is the glue of UVT. That just
Oh my God.
I don't know. That just sounded good. I don't even know what that means.
Glue of UVT.
It just
I'm
felt
sticky.
right.
I'm just sticky. I cling to everything.
He has to take a shower now after that. But no, seriously, thank you so much. If you've got questions about anything from the VO Lab program to demos or anything, Terry, Terry at uvtcoaching.com. I did record the class. So for those of you that were tardy, first of all, shame on you. But second of all, we'll send you the recording tomorrow. It's all cool. That's why we record these things. So thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it. And we hope you found this helpful. Sometimes these classes can be a tad scattered, but
A tad.
we have to prove that we're real, to support the 50 emails that we send out a week.
Tangent alert.
Right.
Hey, it's
Actually,
script
I don't-
performance class next week
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah,
if
script
y'all join,
performance
you get
next
to
week.
join us.
What's
That's
that?
great.
Now? What's that, Cass?
It's script performance class next week according to your emails. So if they join us, they get to join
Oh
that
yes,
next week.
yeah. That's a good. I want to mention that real quick. If you become a member of the VO Lab, the next class is already next Wednesday night, so you would be eligible for that class. So you should probably get signed up for it. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you very, very soon. We appreciate all of you, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh,
Thank
look at Linda
you. Have a good one.
Linda Bard's showing her cassette.
I love it.
Look at
That's
that.
great.
Oh my God! And good to see you in here, Linda. We'll have to connect.
I signed up. I'll see you.
Oh, awesome!
Yay.
Awesome! Oh my
Great.
God! You're gonna get so tired of us. No, I'm kidding. All
Yeah,
right.
come on.
Thank you,
You,
everybody.
you haven't spent a lot of time with me, so.
We'll see you in the members area. Take care, everybody.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Terry. Thanks, Rob.